Yes, sir. We're officially back at it. This is Boog Nice coming at you with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse 1984 Gold Armor Wonder Woman figure review. Let's do it.
This ain't for no scalper. You a scalper? Then fuck out shit. This one's for them real collectors. That's army building and posing figures. Marvel Legends, imports, mini matey, I'm fucking with them. Hype beast, we know about you. Stay buying figs, don't know about it.
And a quick look at the side profile. This is the left side of the box. You can see up at the top it says DC Multiverse Wonder Woman 1984 Golden Armor. McFarlane Toys logo at the very bottom. And more of the same on the opposite side, the right side. And a quick look at the back of the box. You can see Gal Gadot looking pretty stunning in her golden armor there. And some other collectibles down at the bottom that you may want to pick up from McFarlane Toys. Alright, here we go. Golden Armor 1984 Wonder Woman. I have no clue what this is going to be about or what this is supposed to represent, but I could make an inference and educated guess, I suppose. I guess there'll be some flashbacks, and this will be some type of ceremonial garb or something from the old days of the Amazons. I don't know. That's my guess, but she is decked out here in an old gold armor, or mostly gold, like 90% gold. There's some silver sort of gauntlet there, and the wings are articulated, but like the regular version of Wonder Woman, not a lot of accessories. So let me show you what she does have. So she is packed in with a trading card just like the previous version, and there is some information on the back which reads, "In her golden armor, Wonder Woman is the ultimate embodiment of power, grace, wisdom, and wonder, an Amazon warrior whose strength defies challenge and whose courage shines." And she's also packed in with a stand. This stand is a little different from the previous version that we got with the classic costume. That one was just a base and one little peg. This one you can actually move it around at the top. There is a little clasp that can be articulated up and down, and it can open and close. So I was able to clasp it onto her thigh here and make it seem like she's kind of in a flying pose. Now I highly doubt that this armor is meant to actually make the Amazons fly in any way. I feel like it's just going to be some type of traditional sort of garb, and more for a decorative kind of look and not really something practical for flight. But it still works out here where you can simulate some flight. Like I said, the wings are articulated, and if you don't want to have her up in a flying pose, the base does have a little peg on it. I hope that's showing up, being that it's translucent. Yeah, the base does have a peg, so you can just kind of stand her upright if you want, whatever you want to do here. And there's a quick look at the figure from the back, so you can see all of the paint and sculpt work is through and through, back and front. They didn't skip out on anything here. You know, it is a very good looking figure. Seems to me that it's pretty much the same buck as the other Wonder Woman figure, or at least they're using some of the same parts, obviously with a few more overlays and additional sculpting. I hate the way that right foot is looking. It's not really flush. You know, that's a pet peeve of mine, but moving on. And just taking a closer look at the figure and the deco here, like I said, it's some pretty great sculpt work. I kind of wish this was a little different here towards the crotch area, but you can kind of actually pull this down to get it to look a little better. But I don't like the way it's not really like flush, although I understand why it's not. But again, everything looks pretty damn good here, and I do like the colors. I do like the skin tone on the face. I think this particular face looks a little thicker. The head looks a little bigger, and I don't know, she looks, the way her face looks doesn't really match the body, sorta. It looks like she should be on a on a chubbier body, maybe, I don't know. But my issues with this figure are some of the same issues I had with the previous version. There are no interchangeable hands or heads, and again, if McFarlane is going to get into this market right now and compete with all of the other lines, they got to give a little bit more in terms of accessories and playability and fun factor with the figures. Now, again, both figures are very nice looking figures. They look great. They're good display pieces, but are you going to be able to do a variety of different setups and scenes and toy photography and ACBA? That's the real question. So real quick, in terms of articulation, like I said, the wings are articulated. You can rotate them here and they hinge as well, and that's pretty much it. But you get a decent range as far as that goes. No issues working that articulation there. Head is on a ball joint. She'll look down just a bit. She'll look up just a bit. Left to right is no issue. A little bit of pivot is no issue, but limited range on this particular head. Shoulders will come up very far. They're on a ball joint. These shoulder pads are a separate part. They don't hinder the articulation. In fact, you could do a full 360 if you wanted to. You do get a double jointed elbow. You get a swivel and a hinge on the wrist. There's upper torso articulation. Looks like you could actually turn her at the waist a little bit too, if you kind of finagle with it under there, but you can see the sculpt under there looks like it's very slender. It doesn't look like the abdomen is like through and through there. So I understand, but it looks like you still may be able to turn her. I gotta mess around with her a bit more. But legs will come up pretty far. Split will look like that. You do get a little bit of a upper thigh rotation, not much. You get a double jointed knee. You get a hinge and a pivot on the foot and a toe joint. Now, these ankles though, you may have to finagle with these to line up things to make sure that this part of the bull peg is facing inward and not facing towards the front here, so that way you can work the articulation properly. You got to make sure these two match up. And I had to spin this bull peg without spinning the foot to line things up, and I still think I need to spin it a bit more in order to get her to stand up how I want. All right, a couple quick size comparisons and I'm getting out of here. So on the far left is the Medicom Toys 112 Collective Darkseid figure, and I picked this guy because he's pretty large. It's a pretty big figure. Even he is still small next to this these two Wonder Woman figures here. So I've seen some of the comments from the previous review, and people are saying that she's a little too tall, looks more like 8-inch, and yeah, that might be true. The legs on these figures are very long, and you know, it's a hard scale to integrate with other lines, and I know that's a huge deal for a lot of collectors, being able to use previous DC figures with stuff that's coming out currently and do crossovers and this and that, and this makes it very, very difficult, I will say. So right next to Darkseid on his left, going right, is the Mythic Legion's little goblin figure. These are really good. Mythic Legions is a great line. And then right next to the Golden Armor Wonder Woman, going right on her left, is the classic version of Wonder Woman. You can see how those stack up, and you can see how the head sculpts are different. And on the far right is the NECA Planet of the Apes gorilla dude. And one more here. I left Darkseid in there. I put in the Marvel Legends Angela figure, again, because this is a large female figure that is still being dwarfed by the Wonder Woman figures here. I put in the SH Figuarts Wonder Woman figure. You can see how tiny she looks. Preferably this is the scale that I like to work in, you know, 5-inch, true 6-inch scale, something like that. This to Marvel Legends scale is really my thing. And then sometimes I like to work with 3 3/4-inch stuff to do larger, more extravagant displays. And on the far right is the 3 3/4-inch Higher Toys Alien. Maybe this is the big chap. I'm not sure which one it is, but you can see how everything stacks up here. So yes, I hear the complaints and concerns about this figure, and I have to agree with some of the people that have put comments on the previous video. The wrist joints do look a little large, oversized, and maybe they could do a better job at hiding that little ball peg there. But if they give these figures interchangeable hands and heads, I could look past that. The legs are very long, and they are kind of straight legged, especially the version with her legs exposed. Maybe a little muscle definition there could help. I'm not really too mad about the other joints on the figures here. I think they look okay. And also the ankles are a little weird, but it is hard to get this sort of platform shoe to look good with a joint. But again, those ball pegs there are a little strange, and I did have to rotate them a bit in order to get both figures to stand with both feet planted. So yes, McFarlane has a little way to go to get things on track and to be a real true competitor in this market right now, but I do think they are on the right track, and hopefully they will keep improving and advancing. So thanks for hanging out. As always, don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, peace.
That's crispy.